So what is Test Drive Unlimited? Well, it's a very unique open world driving game. You see, at the time, most open world races were set in smaller cities with a larger emphasis on street racing and customization, whereas Test Drive didn't offer any form of customization, instead relying on its massive collection of cars and massive one-to-one recreation of the Hawaiian island Oahu, which compared to most open world games at the time was fucking massive. And you know what these crazy fuckers did? Crammed it all onto a PSP. Now of course the PSP does come with a few downgrades. The render distance is way shorter and the roads, buildings and cars don't have as much detail to them, but honestly after playing these two versions back to back I didn't really mind the downgrade on the PSP. I mean, comparing it to the PC version it's obvious, but compared to the PS2 version it isn't that bad. I did notice that the skybox on the PSP looked a bit duller, like they accidentally put the UK filter on, but maybe that was just while I was playing in this session. But other than that, I think the PSP version is still pretty impressive. I mean, come on, just look at that map, and the fact that there's like 100 cars to try out. You couldn't really go wrong with this back in the day. There's also an online mode, which is crazy to think, but also, look at what year it is. I'm not even going to attempt to play this online. A few other things missing from the PSP version are the lack of the cockpit camera, which, to be honest, I was surprised the PS2 version had this. That was extremely rare for that generation, so it's no surprise it's non-existent in the PSP version. Also, you can't see the avatar during menu screens, so you don't get to see this every time you enter the apartment. Gameplay wise, I didn't really notice the game running any worse or any drop in frames, but the physics did seem a little different, and after doing some research it turns out that it is an entirely different engine. The cars just seem a bit floatier, and god forbid you hit an NPC, you'll be sending them into 2027.
You have reached your destination.
The gameplay still feels great, and everything else is here. The weird amount of radio stations with the random, royalty-free sounding songs, the passive-aggressive police chases, and the map isn't just restricted to the road. You can just drive into the fields like I did here. Just don't look at the minimap. Yep, I'll turn 30 this year. Overall, Test Drive Unlimited is just an insane game to exist on the PSP. Heck, it's an insane game to exist on the PS2. With a map this big and a massive amount of cars to drive, there's hours of fun content here to play around with, and I'm kinda gutted I didn't really play it back in the day because this would have been the dream racing game